Hello. We're starting a minute early. I was just sitting here and I was like, I could just start. I guess it's a short music cycle and then a very long sit in silence cycle. So everyone sit with their thoughts on this Friday evening. Hope everyone had a good week. I don't know why this week felt like a year. I had 4 meetings before noon today, and then that meant I couldn't do any work until after that. It was a time. Yes, this is a guided meditation. This is your ASMR hour. Yeah, Fridays usually aren't that busy. I think just stuff got like moved around, and then I looked at my calendar yesterday just to get a sense, and I was like, oh god. It's too many. It's way too many. Oh, guess who forgot? Like clockwork. Did you? Okay. Oh no, I'm gone. I had to check on something. We're playing sleeping? That's what I want to be doing. We're playing Citizen Sleeper 2 today. I almost did it again. Dredge will be back probably next week. But I really wanted to play this game and it came out today. The Unsleeping Citizen. Yeah, I think I just merged things in my brain. So I'm very excited. It's gonna be a lot of yapping from me, talking. This is gonna be an interesting stream. But before we jump in, I actually wrote down how you can't see it. I was showing you like I had a video. Some housekeeping stuff, so I don't forget, because I normally forget. So I talked about potentially moving this stream into Wednesdays. So starting next week, this Friday stream will not exist. We will be streaming on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna try that out, see how we like it. So there'll be no Friday stream next week. It'll be on Wednesday instead. I'm hoping that exactly it gives me a little bit more like breathing room between streams. Because there are some times where I want to like do an extra stream on Saturday, but then I would be streaming 3 days in a row. Yeah, we'll come up with a fun name for Wednesday. And the other thing I was thinking about, I don't know if we're gonna do this, but I might do like, if Wednesdays work out, I think maybe doing like a once a month like Saturday stream where we do like a longer stream. I keep talking about playing Final Fantasy 14. Maybe we'll just do Final Fantasy 14 Saturdays once a month. But we'll see. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I got that out and not in the middle of me playing a game. So goodbye Friday streams, hello Wednesday. How was the first 30 minutes? Did you like it? And hopefully won't make all the same choices. This will be different. I'm excited. Ooh. Well, I was trying to fix some settings. There isn't, you'll see there's not a settings menu on the main screen. I thought there was a difficulty. I don't remember there being a difficulty, so yeah, okay. I do this thing where I get so like focused on one task in the game that I don't do anything else. I actually had to restart Citizen Sleeper because I realized I was playing it so wrong. I got like a few hours in and I was like, what do you mean I can get on this shit? And then I was like, I think I'm playing this game wrong. So I'm excited. All right. Oh my god. Come on, game. It's just a little sleepy. Like, I literally ended up choosing the same ending for the first Citizen Sleeper, but I got to the part where you can like get on the ship so fast. Because you're like, well, I want to get this done. I definitely still kind of didn't do everything, but as we go through, like, let me know if the sound's okay, everything. Okay. Safe. Broken dice. Uh-oh. We'll probably just do intended difficulty. Yeah. Can I change this at all time? Okay. It says in the yellow text I can read. Because I've played the first one, I think we'll do standard. Risky. I've been playing Tactical Breach Wizards, but I'm playing that on easy because I've never played a tactics game in my life. But I've played this game before. Hello? Next class. I played Operator last time. Extractor. That's like your melee. Yeah, that's like your brute. Machinist. I'm not reading these, sorry. Okay. I should read these. Engineer. I have no engage. I actually can't do engage. No, I know. Engage. Into a, I'm tempted to do extractor. Confidence on a high level of endurance. That's more like, I do love operator though. But you have no endure. Oh, I really like the reroll dice system, yeah. Maybe I'll do operator again. I do like rerolling dice. LaCrue dice, okay. -1 stress on focus die, positive outcome. I think we're gonna do operator again. I can always start again. Oh. I'm preparing myself for all the reading I'm about to do. In the moment before waking, the dark space before conscious thought, you struggle to find the pieces of yourself. This is Disco Elysium again. We're just playing two versions of it. Usually these pieces come with particular cadence, each appearing sequentially, like the boot process of an old terminal. First your body, artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then its context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in 0G. Then emotion, coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it that first instinct, the one that has framed your past 100 cycles, fear. But that familiar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distant, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered. Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives, this fear. The fear. It's a scrambled, panicked fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong. Something is very wrong with you. Uh-oh. Wake up, sleeper, the voice whispers in your ear. An act that makes you suddenly aware of your head pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. Sleeper, a familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted. Signalis? One person sleeping until their debt is worked away, their double being made to work, to be consumed, and eventually to be destroyed. A proxy, an emulation, a sleeper. That is what you are. But you escaped. You remembered that now. You broke free of your corporate creators. S and ARP, in search of a future. You cannot remember the details of your escape, but you know that the sphere has been with you ever since. Literally me. Literally sat through a 6.5 hour Signalis video. It was so good. All of a sudden, you remember you have eyes, and your eyes flicker open. Ooh. Pale eyes and a pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear, one you recoil from instinctively. Sorry to interrupt a sharp smirk, but this sentence here. Hello? Dragon tattoo? You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is leaning over your horizontal floating body, looking down into your eyes. I took you in, protected you, gave you a purpose. You try to look away, to the corner of your vision, to find something you understand, but your body does not respond. But I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into the pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small vial. This wasn't enough. The vial glitters, this object you know, and have known for a long time. Stabilizer, the drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, from inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. Oh god. The liquid rolling in the vials fills you with disgust. I said oh god because there's so many S sounds in this word. And my lisp is killing me. Lane pockets the vial, but it would be wasted on you now, after what you have done to this body of yours. He looks at you with palpable disgust. Unfortunately, if this was a woman, I would be into her. But he's a man, so I can hate him. Lane's eyes scan your body, as they do, you become aware that the wires and tubes attached to you, those that were meant to free you from your dependence, from the stabilizer and the control it grants Lane. It's a weird word. They are free, you piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It is a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try to understand why, you find only dizzying darkness. Shut him up, Lane barks the command, and you hear the sound of impact, of pain, from somewhere in the room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, the twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of a synthetic muscle. Free, are you? Lane smirks. You were free when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you needed. Is Lane the guy? That wasn't the same bounty hunter. I played that game like 4 months ago. It's out of my brain. Oh. He scans your body with angry eyes. Now, you aren't free. You are just broken. I had such big plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm hard, and you feel a jolt of reaction. You will the arm to move, but you have ruined all that. Lane speaks louder, over the sound of the struggle behind him. I will try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it. But your emulation? You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into the port at the base of your skull. I will burn that out. Oh, okay. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling, the cables plugged into you, looping and wrapping around your limbs. Oh, hi. Then you feel hands steadying you, pulling cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. There's too many men. There's been 2 men. Hey, he waves a hand in your dazed face. We need to move. Lane won't be out long. He unloops a cable from around your wrist. Sleeper, help me out here. You blink slowly. Do you know this person? Oh, I love it. Like, this is not practical for space. He leans over you and you feel his hands on the connector, flicking switches, releasing locks. Come on, come on, come on. He tugs the connector clear and pulls you up. You see the room you are in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows looking out on an impossibly bright screen-filled street beyond. In the corner, you see a dark shape of a floating body surrounded by a glittering constellation of crimson baubles. Is that blood? Move. You are wrestled and shoved towards the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you are out in all that brightness, all that movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. Oh, are we in a city? You come to a stop in a dark alley, the one who guided you here pausing to catch his breath. He doubles over beside a massive life support unit that sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember this station runs hot, something about the power that flows through the place. He looks up and meets your eyes. What's going on, sleeper? He wipes sweat from his forehead and floats away in a swarm of spheres. Talk to me. Who are you? You see a concerned frown across his face. Don't mess with me, sleeper. That's not funny. He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrows his eyes, waits for the answer. Hang on, I gotta take a sip of water. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of a station, no, a city, growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal solar cells, shadowed by them. You open your eyes. Dark side. The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. Before you heard yourself sound it out, you didn't know it was there. And me? Who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes, panic perhaps. You stare hard at his face, the slight upturn of his mouth, the intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting a hand to his temple. The reboot. He's speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupted the process end. He lifts his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off down the alley. Come on, the rig can't be far. Ooh, I did not watch any trailer for this game. I just said, oh, there's a second one? Sweet. As you are led through the passage, I cannot read. As you are led through the passages and serviceways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture, the temperature of Darkside feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Ooh, that is a fun fact. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you along with the crowds. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it. Then Lane, those pale eyes, offering you a glittering vial, stabilizer, the promise of supplying more for your work, a deal he locked you into like a cage. There your memory fails you, but in the dark beyond that moment, the residue of panic, of fear, remains. You are Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait. Your guide holds up a hand and you stop your glide using the wall. Ahead you see the tunnel opens up into a wide open bay, with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels, the docks. They're watching the rig. He nods towards the docks and you see one of the doors has a couple of figures flanking it, one covered in ornate tattoos, the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Utsubo, Lane's guys. He looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this, it's not coming back to you, is it? Something catches your eye and you see he's playing with a coin, nervously turning it over and over in his fingers. He sees you looking and slips it away. He places a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphin, alright? He looks pained when he speaks. Lane, he was our captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We needed to reboot you, to break your dependence on stabilizer. He pauses. You know what that is, right? You nod meekly. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete end. He sighs and shakes his head. We can still make this work. He looks back at the docks. I'll lead them away. You get the docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. Got that? He cinches your face, a sign of recognition. I got it. Get that door open. He pats you on the shoulder. I know you know you can do this. There we go. Seraphin kicks hard and glides into the docks. Over here, shitheads, he bellows to the guards as he barrels through. They immediately push off from the wall, giving chase. That's so cool that everyone floats. Skill checks. Ah, okay. Like dice actions you will encounter later, skill checks of positive, neutral, negative. The better rating your skill... I'm not reading that. You wait a breath and then glide across the door they were guarding. You look, already panicked, at the tightly sealed door. Its controlled panel locked out. You hear a shout from somewhere nearby. You get it open. Hack the door. We'll hack the door, I think. Oh, skill check. You shift to the control panel, your fingers dancing across the keys. Without thinking, you access the maintenance layer and trigger a fire safety venting procedure. The panel drones out a klaxon, and the door pops open with a hiss. Go, go, Seraphim flies past you through the doorway into the docking tunnel. You turn to see the 2 guards approaching fast across the docks, quickly glide after Seraphim. Seraphim is already at the rig's door, inputting the entry code. The rig's door scissors open, and you both rush inside. Quickly, Seraphim grabs you by the arm and drags you up to the cockpit, the ship's layout hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight seat and straps himself into his own. You see him tap a series of buttons as he does, talking to himself. Come on. The rig's drive rumbles into life, and Seraphim slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away. Bye-bye. Ooh. Animation? Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, Kill City. As the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, its automatic system nudged there by the port stocking protocols, you feel a sense of relief. Seraphim burned hard out of dockside. Dockside? Dark side. And you dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the rig made its way across the belt. But now, with the open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. Seraphim breaks the silence. We're good, sleeper. That was so embarrassing. My brain was like, there's no R in that word. His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked the ship countless times in your work for Lane. The problem is, you don't remember any of them. We made it, he whispers, closing his eyes and letting out a sigh. We certainly did. He turns, and you see a pained look on his face, as if remembering something difficult. Have you said this exact thing to him before, in the same situation? Are you okay? He looks at you, chewing one side of his lip, searching your face. Not really, he puffs. Seraphim reaches up, flicking through a set of switches in a practice fashion, completing the shutdown. You watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize, is just another thing you've forgotten. It is a lot of reading. No, I'm excited too. We'll just have to take little reading breaks, I think. A clunk that runs through the walls of the ship is followed by a short percussive alarm tone from the pilot's console. Docking complete. This is why I was like, I don't know if I'll play the whole game on stream, but we'll play a couple hours of it. I also read really, like, when I'm not speaking, I read really fast. So it's probably good that I'm, like, actually taking the time to understand what's going on. Seraphim kicks off from his seat, twisting as he glides past you towards the back of the cockpit. His hands find the rails on either side of the door, and he pauses, facing into the corridor beyond. He turns back to you, backlit in cold cyan. We need a plan. He glances around. Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly, he sighs. We need to keep running? Seraphim nods. That's what it feels like, right? That we can never get far enough away from that shithead. You see a shiver run through him and know that he suffered as much as you did under Lane. We have bought ourselves some time. He glances through the cockpit window at the blinking lights of the station. You may not remember Hexport, but I do, and there are plenty of opportunities here for us, if we can keep our heads down. He turns back to the corridor. That's what we'll do. I don't want to jinx it. I want to say something, but I won't jinx it. I'll wait. He pushes off and glides towards the main lock, and you follow, pulling yourself along, hand over hand in 0G. We already emptied the tank on this thing. He slaps a hand against the ship's insides. So we need to refuel, and that won't be cheap. But if you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work. I'm going to get myself reacquainted, see if I can turn up any old connections, people that might throw us an easy contract. You He glances over his shoulder. You keep out of trouble. Low profile. Got it. Seraphim stops at the airlock, stopping a reboot halfway through. He pulls a worn crew jacket from a locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. He jams an arm into a sleeve. I don't want you passing out, and I'll be fine. Seraphim drops his head, swearing to himself. He grabs another crew jacket and thrusts it at you. Just put the damn hood up, will you? You take it and slip it on. Thank you. We'll be polite. Seraphim nods. He stabs at the button to open the lock. The inner door hisses open, and Seraphim glides through. Wait for a little bit, and then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people traveling together. He looks at you in your worn crew jacket, a limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper. We're a polite little... robot person. We meet back here later. Any trouble? Same thing. Meet here. He surveys your disguise again and shakes his head. This is a shitty idea. He gives you one last look. Maybe find yourself something to eat. Suddenly, you recognize Seraphim's instinct to look after you. A flash of a relationship now lost to the reboot. Catch. Seraphim throws a handful of something towards you. You manage to grab the projectiles, and when you open your hand, you see a stack of cryo chits. Those should get you some food. We'll need some more for fuel and supplies. He grimaces. That means odd jobs on the station for both of us. Seraphim kicks off and glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, all right? He shouts and leaves. Take it slow. And with that, he is gone, leaving the connecting bridge and heading to Hexport's docking concourse. You wait for a moment in silence. Think about Seraphim. It's hard to know what's going on inside Seraphim's head. Here he is, on some hapless escape plan, with a friend who can't remember a thing about him. You try to imagine how close you both must have been for him to agree to this thing, but it's painful to think about. That's all gone now anyway. All you can do is move on. You shake the thoughts from your head and pull the jacket tight. Let's see what Hexport has to offer. You kick off and glide into port. Yeah, game runs in cycles. I know. I have played this game. Okay, we got 24 cryo. We have 2 supplies. All right, I'm assuming I can't rotate it. Okay, Hexport docks. Exchange the rig. All right, let's start the docks. Action dice. Higher dice design more likely to succeed. Okay. Chat to cruise. Are we still playing a cruise or explore the docks? This is a risky move and that's danger, so I think we'll do... Do I have... I wish it told me my bonus that I had. I guess we'll just... We'll chat to some cruise. Nice. I just progressed a clock. Okay. I'm not gonna do it all. Bends. Let's go to the exchange. Trade scrap. I don't really have scrap. Impress the brokers. Okay, so this is a bump up. Yeah, let's do that. Nice. See? We're making friends. We're rolling some dice. Trade hall. Buy fuel. Buy supplies. Fill supplies. Fill fuel. I love how they give you one less. You have one less, so you can't do the fuel. You can exchange for crowd, yes. I'll eat some food. I need some energy. I wish they could be like, I have played this game before, just tutorialize the new stuff. I don't know if I really want to do that. That's only 2 more. Can I reroll my dice? What if I do this? No. I just feel like this is a really high... Yeah, we'll just do this again. Great. Here's how much else we can do. With my... What are these? What are these buttons? Map? Wow. What a useful map. Back. The rig is your ship and home in the starboard belt. Where the rig is docked at a hub, there are multiple... Oh! Are we traveling? Sweet. Dice to reduce stress. Supply. So I have to like, keep dice to reduce my stress. Okay, and use supplies to regain energy. Crew tasks. Okay. Are we gonna make a crew? Okay. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited for new friends. I do like that we have a friend. I wanted to wait till we got to the station, but I'm glad we have a friend to start. I feel like it's such a lonely, understandably, like that's the point of Citizen Sleeper, but it was such a lonely start to a game to have no friends in the first one. Okay, actually I am done. What is this? My reroll dice ability? Ooh. Oh. I did. Okay. Oh, my dice are bad. We're in trouble, Sleeper. Seraphim leans into the bunks as you are getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor towards the rear of the ship. You drift out into the passage, pulling on your clothes, and glide down a length of the rig, the cool air making you shiver. Seraphim is a silhouette, silently leading the way. He stops at the far end, diverting through a side door, shooting you a glance as he does. You find Seraphim inside, holding one of the tangle of thick arm tubes that you are waving in 0G engine room. You know what these are? Fuel pipes? Close enough, Seraphim shrugs. These are the engine's feed lines. He waves one in the air, and before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be waggling loose. What happened? These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of Dark Side. He looks at the mess. We are lucky the reserve tank is empty, otherwise... He shakes his head. It would have been bad. I think it's because I want to keep saying Docktown. But it's Dark Side. Don't ask me why my brain did that. But he pushes the pipe to the side. No feed from the reserve tank means that the only rig's range is limited to the local region only. I didn't read that right. He thumps the large lumpen housing of the engine. This thing can't take us anywhere far. So we fix it? I am so... I'm pausing because we have to talk about this. I am not shocked. I am sad. Because senior leadership of BioWare and EA just wanted Dragon Age to die. But also, I cannot imagine being someone who is left to work on Mass Effect and knowing what your fate is going to look like once your game is out. The fact that they're like, oh, don't worry, Mass Effect's still coming out. It's like, screw you. I can't imagine being an employee left in the skeleton of BioWare. Ugh. It's so frustrating. Like, why wasn't the CEO of EA fired for making this game, putting this game through development hell and trying to force them to do a live service game? Yeah, like, Trek isn't there. I don't think any of the writers are left. My only assumption is why the whole studio hasn't shut down completely is because Mass Effect is, like, going to be released in a year or two. I mean, that's crazy. That says a lot about a person that you're a literal video game villain. And you know, they're re-releasing Sims 1 and 2. I think they're trying to save face because they've ruined The Sims. It's just like, ugh. My pipe dream for BioWare, which I knew was never going to happen, is that they would somehow do what Remedy did, is like get out from their parent company's contract. But my hope for those developers and all those creatives is that they find creatively fulfilling jobs. You know, I feel for those people who are left over, because my old job, we were going through massive layoffs, and I was one of the people who was left because I was like very senior and I'd be very expensive to lay off. And it sucked. Like, it sucks to be laid off, but it sucks to be left. Yeah, I really hope that all those people just find very creatively fulfilling jobs in the future. It makes me very worried about this last Mass Effect game is just going to be bad. Ugh. Anyway, fuck EA. Fuck BioWare senior leadership for just trend chasing. Let's continue. Seraphim Max the engine housing again, harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. I don't know one person who likes EA. Like, anyone who has to deal with them hates them. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines, his frustration evident in the violence of his movements. We will need a new set of these, that's for sure. He starts forcing them into a crate. So, how about you try and track them down? I'll take a look at things here and see if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. From what I've heard on Hexport, Factory Row is the place to find ship fitters. Maybe you can do some recon while I sort this place out. It's on the other end of the station. Okay. Seraphim keeps working. Wait, Seraphim pauses, seemingly unsure. There's something else. He drops the feed lines and they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed. I've heard word that Lane's on the hunt. He frowns. A message went out everywhere in the local radius of Darkside. He's looking for us. And we can't leave. Exactly, Seraphim sighs, which is why we need those feed lines. I'm going to try to work something out. Maybe I can improvise a solution. I don't know. He looks down. I'm no ship fitter. But while I do, you can go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? He smiles a weak smile. Get going. You leave the engine room, the clanking sound of Seraphim's cleanup efforts echoing through the ship. Fuel feed lines. That's the next step. You take a deep breath and head out. I actually don't know what the name of it is. Yes, I know to drive is. Thank you. Oh, they are marked this time? Oh my god. Major and minor? This is amazing. They're... Okay. Were they probably like this in the other one? Yes. Ooh. don't remember either. I didn't even think they came out with a new name. I like that though. I feel like when you do a major task, you should get 2 skill points. Okay. Ooh, what are these? I should have read the tutorial. I know this. Oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, I was just curious. I love this art so much. I just want a big oversized yellow jacket. I feel like so many cyberpunky futuristic worlds have a character in a big oversized jacket. I have bad dice. Ooh. I wish I like had more space. I feel like I would love art books if I just had more space. They're so big. Search the row. I think we'll do that instead of haul materials. Ooh. My dice are bad. We'll start this. Oh, nice. Trusted supplier. Yes, I love that. Where are we? Scrapyard? Data diffusal shift. Okay. We'll make some money. Nice. I don't know why I'm forgetting how to do this. I'm like, it's the guy in Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's Ambi from ZZZ, even though hers is more lime green. You just gotta have a big, oversized, yellowy coat. Okay. I need to reroll my dice. How do I do that? Do I have to do it? I need high visibility for Genshin. Okay. We don't have those. Make a meal. Rest and recover. Okay. How do I picked operator so I could re-roll my dice. Do I have to get through the tutorials, I guess, maybe? Go away. Nope. Alright. I don't really want to gamble either. I don't want to do that. I have to get through the tutorial so I can find the area where I can just dump my bad dice. Like in the other world in the first game. With the monster hunting us. Alright, let's give this a try. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I feel like all this is so important, I can't like... I'm not using my ones. And I should eat. Just eat fries. All I do is wake up, work, and eat fries. Okay. I figured how fast the cycles go at the start. Because you're just like, I did everything and my road dice are bad. Okay. That's all I need to do. I can't decide what to finish. Should explore the docks, huh? Those are the same number. Oh no, 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 no. I put it in the wrong one, but that's okay. The warehouses. Freight loading, okay. All right. We're almost done with this one. Export can't export. Yeah, canteen. Eat at the canteen. Sweet. Search the row. Nice. But what if I don't want more food options? It's more expensive. Factory Row howls as you glide through its cramped passages. Whatever its many bays and rooms once were, they now serve as containers for industry of every kind. Roaring manufactories, precisely engineered components with rapidly shifting arms, while scrappers hammer incessantly at bent ship plates. Everywhere you look, there is energy and activity, and for good reason. Hexport itself is built on the derelict fragments of a solar reflector, and even in the small... That's not what that says. And even the small amount of energy generated by its remaining mirrors is enough to power a city of machines. It is familiar to you, of course, in a strange, far-off way, because of Darkside. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it is hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors, 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport's. And that's wild. Flickering city growing on the back like a tumor. I need to read that sentence again. Hang on. This is a long sentence. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it is hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors, 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport's, and that wild, flickering city growing on the back like a tumor. I got it. My little cartoon was like, we're done talking. I know you're still talking, but I'm done talking. In comparison, Hexport feels provincial, but deep in Factory Row, you could almost be back in Darkside. And then you see them, tubes, just like those Seraphim had waved in your face, the feed lines. You push over to the display window of the unit marked Karsten Supply in block capital cut. Oh my god, in block capitals cut from hull plate. There, amongst an angled shelf of oversized ship components, sit the feed lines, like some large biomechanical tangle of snakes. You slip inside, where the sound of Factory Row is a little screened, and spot a large figure working at a bench. Hunched over, concentrating, it seems he didn't notice you enter. I'll wait patiently. Now that is a yellow man. You let him work, watching as, despite his heavy build, he delicately aligns the components, their layers slotting like puzzle pieces. After a few moments of observing the process, he turns his head a little towards you. Can I help you? His accent is heavy, but unknown to you. Those feed lines, how much? There's a sharp clink as Karsten places his tools and the component against a magnetic plate on the wall. He turns with surprising grace and begins cleaning his hands on a cloth. Those sharp eyes can scan you, but Karsten's thickest features do not betray the results of his assessment. Oh, perfect. I told you, I'm pretty, like, task-oriented, so I'm like, I want to get these done. And then in, like, an hour, I'll be like, I need to stop doing that. I'm ordering a new desk chair. My desk chair is falling apart. So if you hear me be like, ow, it's because my desk chair is uncomfortable. Custom built those for a client that never collected. He looks at his hands while he speaks, checking for stray oil stains. You have one of those old MEVs then? He sounds out the letters in a way you don't recognize as he speaks. You try to recall anything you know about your ship, but the memories elude you. Perhaps Seraphin should have come along. Yeah, I got, I'm getting a refurbished steel chair. I forget, they call them like remanufactured. So it's not $1,200. I'm excited. But they have to like build it and ship it to me, so. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be good. I have a Han right now, which is fine, but I genuinely just can't. I don't think if I sat still it would be better. But because I move around so much and I don't sit correctly in my chair, it just can't hold up to it. I think so. Right. Look, Karsten drifts over to where you are standing, his imposing height evident. For a fellow enthusiast like you, he continues in a distinctive monotone. Let's say a few hundred Cairo on clean chits. He shoots you a glance at the feed lines. 400, let's say, to be precise. I say so like on my 30. 400? 400, Karsten says back, repeating your question without the emphasis. It's expensive, I know. It's a shame, but it's just what they are worth. He screws up his mouth a little into something that might be a smile. However, I'm more the bartering type myself anyway. Barter sounds good. Karsten nods sagely. There's a little favor I need a crew for, and well, you look like you might be a good fit. He tucks the cloth away in a pocket and clasps his hands. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there, very old, pre-collapse. It's tucked away in a dead zone, so no one has ever really cut it, he shrugs. Not only that, but Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering nasty security protocols when approached by unfamiliar ships, so it's been left well alone. But a salvager like you with an old Solheim rig, I bet it wouldn't even flinch if it saw you coming. He smiles. He overcharged me so I would go on this mission. Jerk. I have a special interest, a need for that old tech. All those Solheim ships had a data core, and while I don't care about the accounting reports or material ledgers or whatever they kept on the damn thing, I do care about the hardware. So, if I was to find you back here with that data core in your cargo hold, clean cut and complete, well then, I could see my way to doing a straight barter for those feed lines. Karsten pauses, sniffs the air again. You just need the coordinates. Simple as that? Simple as that, he repeats in his monotone way. So, you interested? He glances back at his workbench. Because I'm a busy man. Yeah, why not? I'll do it. Alright then. He holds out a heavy hand for you to shake, and as you automatically reach out, he grabs your forearm instead. Oh, Karsten pulls you closer, squeezing your arm. Let's keep this one between us, alright? He half smiles, his face huge and close. It's our deal. Before you can respond, he thumbs a little drive into your palm. Those coordinates. And then he lets go of your arm with what you swear is a wink. You take a moment to gather yourself, and by the time you do, a whirring fills the air, Karsten having returned to his workbench. You turn and glide out of Karsten's supply with a growing mix of anxiety and excitement in the pit of your stomach, and a cacophony of factory row in your ears. Okay, so either this guy's actually gonna be really sweet, or he's gonna be awful. A contract. Seraphin might even be impressed. You look at the drive in your palm and smile. This could be a route out. You think of leaving this place behind in possession of an improved ship, too. Oh. Suddenly, a small but firm hand falls on your back, an equally small voice coming with it. Hey, wait up. Junie! Hi! You turn in the passage to see a young woman, her hair waving from the rapid glide, as she clearly came out of to catch you. She steadies herself using your shoulder. Sorry. She smiles a quick and flat smile. Wanted to catch you. I'm Junie. Her dark eyes flicker out nervously. You notice the portable terminal she carries, something data scrapers call a deck, but her backpack is full of components and trailing wires. What's up? Karsten. She starts, still catching her breath. He sent me to grab you. She smiles that flat smile again. Wants me to come with you on that job. Her eyes shoot down to the drive in the palm of her hand. She smiles again. That's not right. Why didn't he tell me? She glances towards Karsten's. I guess he forgot? He does that sometimes. She looks sheepishly, oh, that's a word. Sheepishly at you. Oh my god. He just grabbed me after you two were done talking, so... Karsten's always sending me on things like this. I guess he wants me to help you out, keep an eye on things. She pauses. I can be pretty helpful. So, she looks around the passage. Should I meet you at your ship and you can tell me when you're ready to go? Sure. Okay, great. Her eyes light up. She notices she still has her hand on your shoulder and takes it off. Junie pushes off in waves. Looking forward to working with you, she calls back as an afterthought. What about the ship? Oh, I'll find it. She calls back and then disappears down the passage. You watch her go, clouded the contract but nervous too. Will Karsten keep up his side of the bargain if you deliver? Oh, so much reading. They will. They really will get you emotionally attached to a child. I don't know about this sleeper. Seraphin looks nervously out of the rig's windows as you finish explaining Karsten's deal, as well as Junie's offer to help. If this job was easy, Karsten would have done it himself already. That means there's a catch. He frowns at the stars. There's definitely something going on with this Junie girl. He shakes his head. What choice do we have? What if... Seraphin narrows his eyes. We could get the cryo together to buy the feed lines. Is that even possible? I found a contract board at the exchange further in station. He gestures towards Hexport. We take on a job? That might get us some of the way towards buying those feed lines. But 400 is so much. Plus, even if we do want to take Karsten's job, a bit of money to get ourselves prepared wouldn't be a bad idea. Fill up on fuel, supplies, be ready for whatever comes. I'll take a look. Good. While you're at it, you might want to see if you can scare up some freelance crew too. Seraphin shrugs. Many hands make light work and all that. Or we stop messing around. We take Karsten's job right now and get it done before he can think twice. Seraphin yawns. Seems like a whole set of bad options to me. Either way, I've still got work to do on the drive. Seraphin nods a farewell, heading back to the engine room. Let me know what you decide. For a moment, you pause, letting the haze of plans and ideas settle in your mind. Ow. Suddenly you curl up, pain shooting along your spine. You grit your teeth, your muscles lock tight, your vision narrows as you squeeze your eyes shut. You feel a shift, as if some connection has broken. It's almost impossible to describe, like you are floating away from your body, dispersing, dissolving. There's nothing familiar in the pain, nothing to hold on to. You grit your teeth. And then another shift comes and you are back in your body. Ew, what? Trembling against the metal wall of the passage. The pain slowly fades, becoming a pulsing throb, then a residual flicker. You flex in 0G, stretching out the tension. There's a strange sensation of distance that persists beyond the pain, a disconnection between your body and yourself, a flickering numbness that refuses to recede. You wonder if the reboot has done something to your body, or if this is some new sensation you will now have to live with indefinitely. It strikes you that you know so little about the body that houses you. It could be moments away from collapse, or might preserve for countless cycles like this. You try to shake off the feeling, pushing your hands against each other until they feel like they are yours again. I mean, it does sound like chronic pain. Time is the only thing you need, and right now it feels like it's running out fast. You head for the airlock. You have work to do. Okay. Contract. Minor. Alright. I think we'll do... Well, we definitely do need money. So we might do a couple of these. And just see what we can do. I just feel like 400 is a lot. Okay. I have to buy a contract. A signal. 200 cryo. Damn. All right. I know, really, pay $10 to take this contract. Here we are. Hello? Oh. I want to complete this. I did do that. Nope. Lines, okay. I am confusion. Okay. Do I have to sleep? Uh-oh. Oh, I see. Thank you. I would have been like, all right, time to go to bed, I guess. Fuel. Gather many supplies as you can afford. Okay. Okay, so we need fuel. That's why it's telling me to go over here. Hello? Okay. Okay. Sure. I love that we're like exploring places. I feel like that's more exciting to me than being on one station. It's a drone. Seraphin spots the signal source first, the light barely shimmering off its dark hull plating, a design trait that betrays its covert use. A flash catches your attention and you see a rent in the hull through which a red light pulses. Wounded, Seraphin shakes his head. Wish they'd finished the job. You've seen one before? Seraphin looks back over his shoulder towards you. We've seen one before, don't you? He sighs. Sorry, I know it's not your fault. It isn't your fault. Oh, I know. I'm sure it was like budgetary and also they didn't want to like bite off more than they could chew for their first game. So I'm excited we're doing this. He looks at the drone. Lane had us work on one in Darkside Bay, though it was barely a shell. Disarmed and deactivated. He had us searching through its guts for salvage. Ooh, I didn't even notice my dice. Look how nice those dice are. Even that one gave me the creeps, and it had its core ripped out. He pushes the ship closer. This one is still alive. Seraphin carefully guides the ship closer. You watch the drone. The system is full of these things now, running missions for their operators. We're gonna see one out in the belt, though. Maybe got hit during a run-in with sense stat mercs. Exactly. Speaking of sense stat mercs, we see long-haired Murph. We think we're getting, oh my god. Now I'm blanking on the name of the season. Of the show. Of Dimension 20. I was gonna make a funny transitional joke. God, my brain today. You know the transition I was trying to make. Star Trek, thank you. Star Trek Season 2. It looks like it's drifting. Most of the system's blown out, but look there. He jabs his finger towards the red light on the far side of the drone. It's still broadcasting, and maybe even receiving. How do we shut it off? I'm begging. I want it so bad. Seraphin brings you even closer. What I remember from the dark side job is that the central core and the broadcast array need to be shut off to kill these things. Core will turn off local systems, and the broadcast array will sever the link with the Conway operators. Seraphin swallows, but you can bet those systems are protected. Let Seraphin explain. Yeah, same. But that's the thing I like about Dimension 20 is like, I don't have to vibe with every season. Yeah, they have been doing a bunch of press, so I'm like, Intrepid Heroes, my friends. Yeah, I'm trying to think about the season. I tried Never Stop Blowing Up and this didn't vibe with me. But I like the fact that I can just be like, oh, I'll come back in a few months and there'll be a new one. It makes me happy. That's about whatever the hell Critical Role is doing. I'm like, okay. I feel like no one's happy with the announcements that the Critical Role just made. It's too long, and for what? And for what? Your attention is suddenly drawn by a shudder from the drone, like a tremor running along its length. This thing is rigged to blow, Sleeper, he frowns. We go slow and careful, and we don't touch anything we don't know about. You nod along automatically, slow and careful. Oh no, I agree. You know, for a Bell's Hells campaign, there sure has not been a lot of Bell's Hells in the campaign. Seraphin brings along the rig. I cannot read. Seraphin brings the rig to a stop, close enough for you to cross through open space to reach the drone's hull. Let's suit up. You head down to the airlock and to prepare. As you get suited up, you think of the corporate war taking place in the inner system, the war that this drone was driven from. Out here, on the shore of conflict, the biggest danger is that the floatsman and the jetsim drifting in with the tide and orbits of the system might, one cycle, bring the war with it. For now, the belt is outside of its reach, but looking out at the red pulsing drone, that doesn't give you much comfort. Oh my god, welcome to your first contract! Assign 2 dice for each crew member. As you like to assign your own dice, pay attention to the crew's skills and use them effectively. Crew will take on stress. Your energy bar will automatically be supplied for each cycle. Okay. Contract stress. Filled, it will be fail. Okay. So what are your skills, my guy? I wish you would tell me what these symbols mean. Engage and what's the plus? Endure. Like, tell me what these mean. Oh, we're on a long haul. Okay. do that. Okay, and then let me look at the other one. So I should do this one. Okay. Oh, give me 2? And then you should do this one even though you rolled like crap, my guy. One. Okay. Maybe I should have read that tutorial closer. Okay, so now they're at the same cadence, the same timing. Okay. Oh, tutorial. Contracts. Okay. 2 crew days for you. Your own dice. Okay. That was my question. I'm kind of like, do I just use all my good dice and get us kind of bumped up? Oh, this is a negative. So they really want me to use Seraphim here. Okay. Or do I just get this a little closer? Maybe I'll do that. I don't want to do that. Yep. Okay, maybe I just really mess this up. On stress, in class, you can see your current push configuration. If you hold your mouse over the button on the character screen. Push. Oh. Accrue stress to reroll your action dice. Well, I thought I already had that. That's okay. But we haven't taken... I don't have a bad action dice yet. Maybe I'll do one more. Let's just do all the dice. Is that a bad idea? Who knows? Okay. And cycle. Oh my god, I was like, did he not reroll his dice? Bro, get better dice. We gotta try. Okay, sweet. So I can do this. Okay. I understand. So I have to take the riskier action. I only have 3 more. All right. Hell yes. Okay. I like these. This contract system is pretty fun. Okay, I think we're gonna do this. No, what if we have to get them together at the same time? Am I overthinking this? I don't think I do. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, not that I wasn't using my dice strategically, but it's just a different way to use them in this game as opposed to one. It's like it's a good iteration. All right, then maybe we'll do. You hear the bleeping immediately. Among the chambers and cabling of the drone's interior, something has started counting down. Oh no, shit. Seraphine's voice comes hissing through a suit comm channel. This is what I was worried about. Are we screwed? I can't be sure. Seraphine has dropped a voice to a whisper, as if that might make a difference. Either this thing is about to send out a distress call or it's about to blow. We have to shut the system down fast, he pauses. Then we move on to the other side because I bet you there's a surprise waiting for us there too. You take the moment into silence. Alright, time to deal with this fast, then get over to the other side before something happens. Oh, okay. Oh my god. I really should have waited. I did not need to be impatient. And that is okay. We're learning. This is the learning. Okay. I'm starving. We're killing it. Okay. Are you kidding me? I have to use all of my dice? I better not have to. You're killing me. Great. And now, it. Go away. I don't know why I just made that noise. You better not. Seraphine, I'm begging you. Okay. You only have one though, and I don't want to risk that. I'm afraid that something else is going to happen and I want to have dice to deal with it. That really annoyed me. It took all 3 dice. Should I risk? This is only the tutorial. I'm going to risk it. Wow. I got stress. Broadcast systems. Oh my god. I'm dumb. Let's go. Yes. We did it. Yeah, it's really just like the dice management just feels so much like more intense. Like you really have to be like, okay, now I have to go like this, I have to do this, and now I have to. Anyways, all to say, contracts are fun. The thrumming, pulsing interior of the drone goes still for the first time since you boarded it. You look across at Seraphine and share a smile. You exhale so loudly it can be heard over the suit's shared comms channel. The drone is dead. Seraphine slaps the metal inside the drone. Too easy, you ugly bastard, he grins. You make your way back towards the hull. I cannot read. You make your way back to the hull, the drone now faintly rolling in one direction, its stabilizers offline. You and Seraphine glide out across the hull towards the rig. Feels good to shut down corporate property, he smiles. They deserve everything they've got coming for trying to take Helion back. You reach the rig's airlock and take one last look at the drone's dark hull. It catches the light as it rolls in the vacuum. At some point in the near future, this drone will likely be smashed to pieces by one of the many asteroids of the belt, spreading across this place as twinkling dust. The thought pleases you. Hell yeah. As does the thought of all that cryo Hexport now owes you. Time to go collect. Okay, I understand. So you don't have to do both. Map. Contract concluded. Leave. Since we're on the belt, would that make us belters? Expanse reference? After docking at Hexport, Seraphin lets go of the controls and leans back in his chair. Feels good to make a contract work, he smiles, no matter how we pull it off. It's hard not to agree, and it feels better when the Hexport courier comes with a lockbox full of chits. Lanny still may be hunting you, but this should help the effort to slip his net. Seasons 1 through 3 are leaving Prime. I did not know that. I will be purchasing the DVDs. Alright, I'm starving, so I need to go eat. Ugh, that's so annoying. Well, I've been debating buying them for a while, so... I guess I'll inform my decision. Like, you own the rights to the show. Just house 1 through 3. Okay. I should probably eat a little bit more. So, okay. I mean, my other conspiracy theory is like maybe because I know that I think I've talked about this before, there's a contingency where if Amazon does nothing with the Expanse for like a certain amount of time, then the rights go back to the like production company. So I'm like, maybe that's a sign. I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory of the day. But it's probably just because it cost $100 in millionaire money. Okay. Where's the contract board? Nothing. We need supplies. See, this is why I'm like, we should go do that other task, because we have to, like, all the management of money, we are not going to get $400 in a good amount of time. Fill fuel. Fill supplies. Okay. I love a conspiracy board. All right. That's just for money making. Anything I need to like unlock? Yeah, this guy. I love theorizing. Me and Severance right now, I'm Charlie Day with Severance right now. My god, today's episode? Jaw on the floor. That whole scene with Natalie and Milchek. Oh my god, I won't spoil it. But I have so many conspiracy theories. I really do. I was pretty anti it's not really Helly theory, but now I'm kind of like, no, it makes sense. I still have no idea what's going on with Harmony. I have no idea what that lady wants. Yeah, shit's getting crazy. There's just like a really, I vlogged something about it, but it's just like a really crazy scene. As you are gliding across the docking concourse, you hear a scuffle. The noise of raised voices cuts through the conversation, drifting out of the dock space shops. Glancing down an alley, you see a huddle of figures shouting back and forth. You spot one man in the middle of the group, surrounded, pushing the others back as they grab at the bag slung over his shoulder. You don't like the way this looks, but then again, Seraphim told you to keep your head down. Let's cause a distraction. Yay! You look around for something that could break up the fight and see the thick cooling pipes running down the alley wall. You quickly try to understand the system and choose a valve to start spinning. As you do, the system begins to vent in sequence down the alley, violent jets approaching the group. There's a scramble in the alley, and you spot the figure who is being attacked drop down to the alley floor. Then the scene is blanketed in pale coolant and everything goes still. The clouds settle and condense on the pipes. As they do, you see a clear alley, the assailant having fled, with one figure gliding towards you. Oh, that's a handsome man. I suppose you think that was clever. The man gives you a severe look. You are either very smart, he shakes his head, or very lucky that those jets missed me. Which is it? I was helping? The man laughs. Well, he shakes his head. Thanks, I guess. He kicks off and drifts past you. You watch the man go, and then, after a moment, he stops and turns back. He rubs his forehead, looking down as he goes. What's your deal anyway? He sighs. Maybe you're new here, but at Hexport is no place for do-gooders. I know what it's like. To get beat up? The man shakes his head. Hexport's got real rough. Okay, let's not hang around, alright? The man pats his chest. I'm Femi. He unshoulders one of the bags and pushes it towards you. Make yourself useful. Let's head. What? You get the strap of the bag over your shoulder and follow him through the docks, gliding past the concourse towards the connecting bridges. Okay. He cuts down a side passage, looking back to check you are following. Then he stops at the docking bridge connecting to a dull green ship with yellow markings. You look out the viewing window at its odd catamaran-like shape, seemingly built for two separate hulls welded together. Symbol Crash, he says, and you assume that's the ship's name. Hi, Nia. Hi, Nia. I twirl my hair. You have cool pants. Femi, you bringing in strays? A young woman brightly dressed and stretching as she glides drifts into the passage. She glances at you. No offense. Nia, Femi shakes his head. This one. He squeezes your shoulder. Help me fend off some Hexport scum while you are busy sunning yourself. Nia raises an eyebrow. I'm sure you could handle them, big brother. Her glib response hides the flash of concern that passes across her face. You can't tell if Femi noticed. Nia turns to you. Thanks, she smiles sweetly. And I'm sorry for my brother. She shoots him a glance. Just in general. Nia, Femi murmurs. Enough now. He reaches over and takes the bag you were carrying. Nia rolls her eyes at you, but stays silent. Factory Row wouldn't take these. Femi hefts the bag. I'm gonna load them back up. Maybe we'll find use for them. He turns back to you. Thanks for the assist, Sleeper. He nods firmly. Not what I expected. He slaps the bottom... The bottom? He slaps the button for the bridge door and kicks along the docking bridge on his way to the Symbol Crash. Nia looks at you with raised eyebrows. I hope my brother was joking, or did you really help him? I tried. Thank you. Nia looks back at the ship. My brother needs more help than he admits. It's okay. She pauses, thinking. I want to ask you something. She takes a deep breath, then gives you a direct look. What is she building up to? Are you looking for crew? She looks away. Yes. Ma'am, you can come on my ship. Sorry to be direct, but you seem like, well, if you're in Hexport, maybe you're with a crew. She stops herself. I mean, maybe your crew needs crew? Maybe you are looking? I am. She struggles to hide her smile. Nia looks back at the ship, then at you. Look, I'll be honest. Being on a crew with my brother is nice, but he is suffocating me. She frowns at her own bluntness. I'm not a kid anymore, you know, but he still sees me like one. She shrugs. I want to show him I can handle myself. I need experience. I need to run some contracts. She gives you a determined look. What do you say? I'll think about it. I'm a good salvager, all right. You can use me. She smiles. I can spot things, find gaps, weighs in. She folds her arms across her chest. I know what I'm doing. Femi taught me well. She glances back at the ship. Just consider it, all right. Let me prove myself. Suddenly a shout comes from the ship, echoing down the passage. Femi. He makes both of you nervous. Nia looks in his direction. I should go. She pushes off towards the docking bridge. I'll be waiting. Nia gives you one last glance as she departs, then disappears into the docking bridge, leaving you alone in the passage. Yeah, Nia, you can come with us. Wife time. I should go. No contract. Okay. What time is it? I do like how there's like more clear-cut skill checks too. Those are fun. Hey, I'll take the cryo. Where can I gamble again? Nice. 9 cryo. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we got plenty. Okay. All right, we're gonna do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Oh wait, how do I oh god. I need do that. I need to recruit Nia. Do I have to wait to do that? Probably. Okay. We'll end the cycle, see if we can recruit Nia, and then we'll go. Okay. Nope. Okay. Let's go. Okay. I'm assuming I'm taking her. Okay. The Solheim derelict fills the cockpit windows, all twisted plates and skeletal strutwork. You watched it in horror and fascination as Seraphine completed the approach, both of you silent in the presence of this decaying beast. Now, as you settle beside it, Seraphine is the first to break the silence. This thing is already dead. He shakes his head. It's a corpse, Sleeper. He nudges the ship closer, looking for a place to dock. I touched this thing too hard and it'll crumble into dust. What were you expecting? I was expecting, Seraphine squints as he adjusts the rig's thrust. A scrap contract, like you said, not a death trap. Take us up there. That's the bridge. Ginny points towards one end of the ship, and both of you and Seraphine turn around, having forgotten she was even in the cockpit. She hasn't said a word since you departed. She glances at both of your bemused faces. What? She looks away. Sorry, that's where we need to go. She stops pointing. Seraphin nods towards Junie. She's not wrong, Sleeper. The bridge would be a good start. To the bridge, then. Seraphin nods and brings the ship under control. Let's do it. Seraphin takes control of the ship, avoiding the debris field closer to the center of the wreck. He settles in position near a protrusion at the far end. This is as far as I'll go. Seraphin taps at the anchoring controls. We should be able to anchor the ship to those plates. You hear Junie begin to protest from behind you, but it's too late. Seraphin fires 2 python-tip anchor lines at the nearest solid hull plates. The pythons slam into the plates and, despite their solid appearance, they instantly shatter. The fragments spin out across the wreck, slicing into other plates and building a spiraling storm of debris. Shit, Seraphin nudges the ship back and steadies it as debris cascades across the surface of the wreck. The damage seems mostly superficial, but it underlines just how fragile the derelict is. Let's not do that again. Junie glances between the two of you. The data core will be very fragile. We have to. We've got it, Seraphin snaps. He angrily unclips from his seat. Last thing I need is a backseat driver. He kicks off and glides past her into the corridor. Let's follow him. I don't know why he's so mad. Sorry, there's just a very loud plane. That scared me. There's just a very loud plane overhead. You follow Seraphin down the passage, with Junie close behind. As you reach the airlock, he is already angrily suiting up, his frustration evident. Keep your cool. Seraphin looks up. Yeah. He glances at Junie. No hard feelings, right? He checks the seal on his shoulders. But this is a job, not a social event. The rest of the preparation process takes place in tense silence, each of you considering the delicate job ahead. You suit up too, though you don't need a helmet to breathe. You slide on one and lock the seal for protection. This wreck isn't going to give up its salvage easily. The core should be near the bridge, maybe even inside it, but there's a lot of wreck here, and there might be good salvage tucked away in the cargo hold. Oh. Once the suits are on and the seals are checked, you cycle the lock and stare out the vast expanse of the twisted hulk before you. Time to get to work. Junie, you rolled badly. Okay, corroded airlock. Depressurized bay. That's the cargo entry. Oh, jeez. Okay, force the lock. Lock dissection. I think so too. I think that they should only be allowed to at least roll 4s and higher, not 1s. Okay. Clear cargo doors, find access point. Oh, we're already at 2 stress. Okay. And then this seems to be the more difficult situation. Because none of us can use our engineering, or none of us have engineering. What do you have? What are these? What do these mean? That means interface. Yeah, I don't understand this cross. Explain to me what these mean. Okay, so I think we're gonna go through the cargo. Because that way we can use his... %100% positive. Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. Okay. And then we can use... Oh, that's not a plus. Okay. No. Do we want to risk this? I don't want to use all of his dice immediately. Okay. I I think we'll do this. Great. Map the bays. Okay, so we can use Junie here. So we'll use your good roll. Great. Incredible. We're killing it. Hell yes. Deep bays. Oh, extract raw scrap? Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Well, now I regret doing that. You know, now I have regrets. Listen, sometimes I regret my risk of behavior. One crisis active. I'm afraid this is gonna make it worse. Okay. But I'm out of dice. And I just got greedy because I wanted to do the... Okay. We have to end the cycle. I got nothing. Okay. First things first, we gotta fix this. I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna know that only he can do this when I need him for this. I guess I can just do that. We really do need this fixed. Okay. Ugh, it's such a brutal downgrade. Are you also a two-person downgrade? And then what happens if I do this? That's still... Don't really want to use my 6 on that. I want to use it on this, so I will. Okay. And I can't push. Reroll lowest dice. Oh, this is dumb. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Damage. Okay. No. Ugh, I took stress anyway. Oh God. I don't think this was a good idea. Okay. Oh, and you can do it too. Yay! Oh, the negative. The negative is scaring me. Yes, okay. That one at least is done. And cycle. Okay. We are on a mission today. You are gonna finish this. Incredible. Everything will be fine. Amazing. The bridge of the derelict lies silent. The pale beams of your suit lamps catch rows of terminals and clouds of glittering dust. Wires wave like seaweed, and the whole scene appears as if underwater, chaotic but still. Junie glides past you, disturbing the dust and taking you by surprise as she does. She has been a stoic presence so far, but in this moment she seems drawn forward by some force of curiosity. You watch as she bats away debris and begins checking terminals. What are you doing? Junie doesn't seem to hear you, or at least is ignoring you. She is already prying an access panel off from one of the more intact-looking terminals. As she does, puffs of rust color the vacuum around her. Approach her. She turns back to the terminal and finishes prying off the plate. Then quickly, she reaches inside, fishing around for something. Her hand comes back with a waving cable top of the thick connector. As soon as she sees it, she slips a keyboard-sized deck out from somewhere on her person. She runs her hands across the back until she finds the right port and slots it in the connector. All of this happens in a few seconds, the routine practiced and precise. It's hard not to be impressed. Not your first Solheim ship? She glances at you, a nervous look on her face. Does she think you are accusing her of something? She shakes her head and goes back to her work. Junie's fingers dance across the deck's keyboard, and a burst of static lights up the Solheim terminal screen. The sudden burst of light and color takes you by surprise. Junie's fingers taps away, the terminal screen flashing with blocks of color and lines of code. It buzzes and vibrates, its long-dead systems forced back into chaotic life. Then, all at once, it goes dark. The terminal is dead. Shit. Junie hisses beneath her breath. Useless. You cannot tell if the insult is directed at the terminal or herself. Yeah. Solheim, like Sondheim? Famously just from Unsleeping City? Find anything? She looks up at you as if she was just waking from a dream. No, she pauses. Nothing useful. She protectively slides her deck away. The cradle with the data core can't be far. She pushes off from the terminal, gliding away from you. I'll start looking. She calls back and heads to the other side of the bridge. I just had a thought. That's why I interrupted myself. Seraphim glides up behind you. Everything all right? What do you think of Junie? The kid? Seraphim shrugs. You know better than me. Keeps to herself. He squints at her retreating form. I've gotten good about reading sarcasm over text because I am very sarcastic, and I know it's very hard to interpret. Also, I just kind of assume, this might be a bad assumption, but like in a chat, it's gonna be more chill and no one's being that serious. Seraphim stretches in his suit. I have to admit, it's nice to be back working, especially now that we are the ones who will reap the benefits. He clasps you on the shoulder. Feels good to be taking our fate into our own hands. I know it's pretty rough there, back on Hexport, and out here when we're just as likely to get shredded by debris as fine as the damn data core. But aren't you glad we made a break for it? He pauses and looks down, having asked the question mostly by accident. I mean, I am. I just don't want to speak for you. I'm glad too. Seraphin smiles. You better be. I didn't give up that little dark side cupboard I was living in for nothing. He laughs at his own joke. Look, Seraphin checks his suit wrist seals. Once we've got a bit of space behind us, once we've gone the distance, if we even manage to get that far, he furrows his brow. Don't feel you owe me. I'm no charity case. You want us to go our separate ways? Fine by me. He meets your eye. Just do me the favor of telling me to my face. That won't happen, because you're my bud. Seraphin nods but doesn't respond. After a moment, he shines his torch out into the dark, checking the rows of terminals all across the bridge. You watch the glittering dust as it eddies in the beam. Seraphin sighs. Let's do it. Let's get to it. You watch as he crosses the bridge, his torch probing the dark corners. You feel a chill run through your body as you imagine the people that once ran the ship. The Solheim crew, surely long dead. What was it like here before the collapse, when the system was the jewel of Solheim's crown? I need to see a trailer for this, because I'm starting to thread together thoughts that could be so wrong. It's impossible to know. That history is lost to you now. All you can do is pick what you can from the ruins. Beep. Okay. Oh my god, this is gonna take 8,000 years. Okay. Reboot the system. Like, this is how I felt. Do you ever just like, this is how I felt after finishing 3.0 in Star Rail. It took me 4 days because it's 10 hours long. But I was making connections in my brain that I was like, I know that these are just like probably not correct. And that's how I feel right now. Where I'm like, Judy, what are you looking for? Why are you going through these old ships? And then I'm trying to make connections that probably aren't there. It's so long. It took me like 5 days. I can't imagine trying to do that in one update. Or in one sitting. It was yappy. It could have been 5. But the world's interesting. I like that. Let's go. Yeah. We'll just have to see. I know a lot of people are like really annoyed by their most recent updates, so I feel like if enough people stop paying for like the battle pass and stuff, then maybe they'll improve. And that's what happened with Genshin. People got annoyed by them and they were like, well, we're not giving you our money. I don't want to risk the negative. I don't want to risk the negative, and we're halfway there. Ooh, living on a prayer. Okay, we will sleep. Okay. But I have been making connections just that are wrong, and I know that they're wrong in Star Rail, but I'm having fun. Okay. Exactly. Data core. Isolate the core. Great. We are cooking. Yeah, I don't like when people theorize and they think that they're like 100% right, and then when they're wrong they're like, well, that's bad writing. It's like, it's just so much more fun to just be like, this could be so wrong, but I just want to have fun with my little corkboard and string. Nope, I don't want to risk the negative. That's why I've been rewatching, I was watching new reactors react to Ruby, but they're only up through volume 7. And so I was watching Ghost of the Rebels reaction again for 8 and 9. And I just love the way he has this segment that's called It's Time to Reach, where he will just say his theories, but the way he phrases it is just like my preferred way of reactors theorizing, where he's like, it's a reach, it could be wrong. And it's literally that tone, like, it's time to reach. Because even when he's right, I just like that he like frames it as, I'm probably wrong, but... Are you kidding me? Oh, so every time I do this, it's gonna cause stress. Okay. So I don't think that getting scrap is worth it, in my opinion. Okay, we have 2 supplies left. We gotta get this core. We're gonna risk it. Oh, shit. Okay. Especially when you're like reacting to a show and you don't have all the information. And it's just like, come on. It's okay if you are wrong. Let's go. You watch nervously as Judy guides the core out of the cradle. A large ball, almost half your height in diameter. It glides up out of the framework that it held it, connections waving loose and cut. Her breathing comes through the suit's comms, loud enough to be picked up, and it fills you with tense energy as you watch. That would be my nightmare. Hearing other people breathe? Over the course of this job, you have seen Junie both focused and distracted, nervous and precise, but you have not seen her any more confident than in this moment now. She floats beside the data core, handling it with care and skill, as if it was the vast egg of some endangered bird. She glances up and sees you watching her, and you notice something unfamiliar in her eyes. Something... Oh, that's my stress. Okay. Something that you have perhaps seen in passing moment before, only now it is no momentary lapse or change. It is set in place. You see determination. She guides the core a little away from you with one hand, and at the same time comes forward, almost placing herself between you and her prize. And it does seem to be hers in the way she handles it, the possessive way she screens it with her body. We need to talk. The statement comes flat and deadpan, any nervous tremble gone. Right now? What are you doing? Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I want to be honest with you, but I need to know you won't take this from me. Junie glances around the cradle defensively, but Seraphine is already heading back to the ship to prepare the cargo bay for the core storage. You two are alone. Tell me and we'll see. Fine, she folds her arms, but it's staying with me. Karsten doesn't deserve this treasure, Sleeper. Junie glances over her shoulder at the core. Do you know how many of these are left intact? She shakes her head. And all he wants to do is wipe it clean so he can use it to interface with Hexport. All that data, gone. So what do you want? I want to extract the data, to make use of it. You see some genuine emotion flicker in her eyes. She sighs. After extracting the data, the core will be unusable. There's a security system that will fry it if data duplication is attempted. I can delay the security response long enough to copy the data, but after that, she trails off. You've done this before. She looks down. Yes. She meets your eye. This is why I came. Look at this place, Sleeper. She gestures to the cradle room, a dark and twisted cavern of long-dead tech. How many of these places are left? How many chances do we have to recover anything this old, this fragile? Like it or not, we live in Solheim's shadow, in their ruins, and yet we know almost nothing. What chance do we have of understanding how we got here when others like them, like Senstat and Conway, are descending the system? are descending on the system. What can we learn from this core? I don't know, Sleeper, that's the point. She gestures around herself. We could learn our history, or how the system was settled. We can better learn the technology we build our lives on. We could uncover Solheim's crimes and seek to make amends. She looks at you with pleading eyes. We could see beyond survival, towards something else. You've never heard Junie speak like this, and you realize what you have taken for nervousness was actually control. This, the person in front of you defending a decaying data core with their lives, is the real Junie. But then you think of Lane, of the price he's likely to put on you and Seraphin's head, and of the feed lines, without which leaving Hexport will be almost impossible. Is this even a choice? I'll explain the feed lines. Junie listens carefully as you tell her about the deal with Karsten, the feed lines he offered you, and that both of you and Seraphin are on the run. Then I'll help you. Junie doesn't flinch. We find another way to get those feed lines. Karsten is an idiot. I can hack his security and you can pull them out of there. Or Seraphin looks tough. Maybe he can grab them? She looks desperate. We can do it. We can do something. Why should I trust you? Let me be honest with you. I don't work for Karsten. He didn't send me. No shit. I might have missed you there. I might have misled you there. I knew he knew where the derelict was, and I heard your conversation. I've been keeping an eye on him. She pauses. I know I lied, but I can help you. Let me strip the data from the core, and I promise to help you get the feed lines. She meets your eye with intensity. It's a lot of information to take in at once. You need a second to think. Ugh. I just feel like we are just gonna be on the, running up against the clock. But I like Junie. Alright, let's do it. I don't think Seraphin's gonna be happy. Thank you. Junie looks genuinely moved. This is a gift to us all, Sleeper. I hope you will see it like that. Junie turns the data core, quickly gathering one of its loose connections. She takes out her deck and plugs it in, then crosses her legs and places it across them, floating tether beside the core. Her fingers begin tapping at the keyboard, teasing out the core's data and whatever Solheim's secrets it might contain. As she does, Seraphin enters. He braces himself in the entryway. What's she doing? Junie doesn't seem to notice. Emptying the data. She's doing what? Seraphin jumps to attention, but you put a hand on his shoulder. He eyes you suspiciously. I hope you know what you're doing, Sleeper. He nods towards the core. This is our ticket out of Hexport. Junie will help us. If you say so. You both turn to watch Junie stripping the core of its secrets. A little while later, once the core has been emptied out and its defense mechanisms have scorched its seams black, you watch the metallic sphere spinning gently in the room and wonder if you have just made a terrible mistake. Oops. Oh, I have been getting scrap. Okay. We can leave. How do we leave? Map. You arrive into Hexport. Junie speaks up from the back of the cockpit. We are going to have to act fast if we want to take those feed lines. You and Seraphin exchange glances. You're both still getting used to this new Junie. We? Seraphin raises an eyebrow. Only one of us fried the core and stole all of its data. He shoots you a look. And for some reason we let you. It was the right call. Was it? Seraphin laughs. Well, I'm reassured. Well, okay, Seraphin, I like you, but if you're gonna be an asshole. I don't think Karsten is gonna take kindly to the idea that we brought someone pretending to work for him on the job and let her have his prize. He shoots Junie a look. Do you even know what she's up to? Junie looks between the two of you. Hexport hasn't exactly been kind to me. You two trusted me, even though I didn't deserve it. I'm not used to that. I want to repay it. Not to mention that Karsten is probably ripping you off. Even if you get enough cryo, what's to say he won't raise the price? Trust me, he's no good. I mean, that's true. I was trying to deal with Karsten to get those derelict coordinates from the moment I arrived here, and he ran me in circles. She shakes her head. Seraphin is watching her closely. Even if I do take you at your word, which, given everything, seems a little tough, how do we even do this? He raises an eyebrow. You're telling me we just drift in there and take the feed lines? Look, I get it, you don't trust me. She pauses. But what if I had vested interest in this working out? There's nothing left for me here, and I don't much feel like hanging around waiting for Karsten to figure out my involvement in all this. I need safe passage. You need the feed lines to grant it. She allows herself a smile. See where I'm going with this? Seraphin sighs. I don't like it. He pauses. But it makes sense. What do you think, Sleeper? I like it. Alright then, Junie smiles. Let me prepare. I'll head to Factory Row, scope out the place out. Meet me there and we can work out a plan. She glances between the two of you. Trust me, we can find a way. We'll keep it simple. Clean. Simple and clean? Is the way that you're making me feel tonight? Simple is good. Agreed. Seraphin cuts in. His dark look portrays his concerns. I'll go scope out the bay we need in Factory Row. We should split up. Less likely for Karsten to suspect us. Meet me there in a few and we can finish setting up. Junie unclips from her seatbelt, floating. I want to show you I can be trusted, that we can do this. She looks between the two of you. Believe that, please. And with that, she slips away down the passage, towards the airlock and hex support beyond. You look at Seraphin. I'm saying nothing, Sleeper. He unclips from his seat too. Either this is the kind of mess you have to go through to get out to the other side, or it's the kind that you never escape. Either way, we are in it now. He leaves the cockpit. You stare at the chaotic lights of Hexport and wonder if anything in the starward belt ever runs smoothly. Oh my god, 3 cycles left. Okay, can we... Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. I'm gonna go watch that music video after this. Alright. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do our plan. And then we'll call it a night. Your girl is a little sleepy. Oh. Hack security. Let's go. Hack security. We got this. Hell yeah, that was lucky. The sound of fist on keyboard wakes you from the scrolling code on the terminal screen. You turn to see Junie, a rare half smile on her face as she floats cross-legged with her deck in her lap. The blue light of the snap-on screen makes her eyes glint with a glittering excitement. Got him. She sees you a look. Karsten's whole system is mine. You push away from your terminal to glide over to her screen. Running the mapping protocol now, I want to know about every little dusty corner of his network. Nice work. Hold on, we aren't there yet. It's coming up now. It seems Karsten is pretty paranoid. This whole system is iced over with some serious security. She frowns. What are all these layers of... A red pulse flashes across her face, changing her features as it does. Chit chit chit. Her fingers dance across the keyboard. Something is closing the port. We need... Another red flash and her screen grows blank. Junie's fists hit the keyboard again, harder. We've been kicked out, she rapidly shaking her head. There's no way a salvager's shop should have this kind of countermeasure. She looks troubled. Maybe you peeked in the wrong corner? She looks over at you. It seems so. I think her friend Karsten is involved in some nasty stuff. I mean, yeah. She rubs her forehead in thought. Wait. Her fingers fly across the keyboard, her screen flickering with commands. A complex node graph assembled on the screen, a mess of interlocking connections. She really did say, I'm in. A mapping protocol did enough. She points at the screen. All the security systems are there. She indicates a dark section of broken connections. We didn't get what's here, but it seems like we found some kind of archive. Nothing we want. So, what now? Junie pulls the thumb drive out of one of her many pockets and slots it into her deck. Time to train my cat. Identify the program. You watch the code spilling across the screen and notice the addresses from the node map being marked and logged. It appears to be some kind of exploratory program. A ripperworm, perhaps? But why would Junie want the data from Carson's network? No. Yeah, he just has a really old copy of AO3 that he really wants to be protective. You glance at Junie and notice she is watching you carefully. I can see you following along, but trust me, you haven't seen one of these before. You want me to read that word? It's a Katzenjammer, cat for short. Basically, it takes a network map, finds the weaknesses, and when you hook it up, blasts the network with so much network noise and raw data that it becomes unusable. She smiles to herself. Any tech connected gets a killer headache. I built it to take out the remnants of Solheim security systems out of commissions on old derelicts. She squints. I had one too many close calls. Sounds perfect. She nods. I agree. She plucks the thumbnail drive out of her deck and hands it over, the cat's head sticker on it catching the light as you turn it in your fingers. We still lost access, of course. Junie turns back to her screen, bringing up another node map. But there's an old Solheim port from the original facility just outside Karsten's. Slot the cat in there, and it should be able to find a back door. What are we waiting for? Nothing, but she looks away. This isn't going to be quiet, she squints. His whole system is going to get data blasted. It's not a subtle hack. When you slot the cat, you get in, grab the feed lines, and run. It sounds like one hell of a risk. Seraphine's voice catches you both by surprise as he slips in the dark and empty unit. Well, Junie pauses, looking between the two of you. It's our best option. Seraphine narrows his eyes. And where will you be while we run the gauntlet of scrambled security and make the grab? Junie looks away. I can monitor how it goes down remotely, from here or the ship. Seraphine gives you a look. You can tell he's finding it hard to trust Junie after everything. I trust you, Junie. Let's be dumb. She smiles a thin smile. Thanks. She starts to pack up her deck, but I'll find somewhere else to work from. Close to the ship, but out of your way. Junie shoulders her bag and glides to the door. When you are ready, slot the cat and go. By the time you are back at the ship, I'll be there. She glances down. Don't leave without me. She shoots Seraphine another look and then slips out of the unit. Seraphine watches her go and then turns to you. The whole of Hexport is going to hear about this. He shakes his head. We better be ready to go the moment you slot that thing. I'll be ready. Seraphine nods silently. I'll be at the ship preparing the engine. We'll need to be ready to fit the lines as fast as we possibly can. He meets your eye. Be careful. Don't stop for anyone or anything. He puts a hand on your shoulder. And don't even think about looking back. With that, he slips out of the unit, leaving you alone to consider what comes next. Well, I want to recruit my girl. Did I screw myself over? Okay. I think we're gonna call it there. Can I save? 9 seconds. Okay. I think we'll call it there. That was fun. A lot of reading. Oh my god. But I'm really liking it so far. I like the different systems, and I like the contracts. I think it's a good way to utilize like the dice system in a new fun way. Will I be playing this again on stream? I don't know. I might just finish it by myself in my own time, but thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. We will be back to normal on Sunday at 4:30 with Disco Elysium. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good rest of your night, and I will catch everyone soon. Bye.